Hi everybody, Jennifer Blevins-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about choosing a billing company. And I know I have done a video about this in the past, but I just kind of wanted to refresh it and bring it to light a little bit more because I have had more people reaching out to me. And I just wanted to really just put this in the forefront of your mind if you're starting your own practice and you're needing to choose vendors. I'm going to talk about things that you need to ask, things that you're expecting them to do, and also how to handle the workflows in your office when you have a billing specialist or billing company involved in your workflows. So first off, the things that you need to know about billing companies. All of them are different. They all offer different parts of the services. You would think that healthcare billing is pretty straightforward, but there's actually a lot of moving parts and a lot of different things that need to be taken care of in order to have a healthy revenue in your business. So not only does the revenue cycle, as I've said before, start at the front desk, but you have a bunch of stuff on the back end that needs to be followed up on and completed that people don't think about until it's kind of dropped on them. So these are the things that you need to ask about from your billing company when you're interviewing them and you're trying to see which one's going to be the best for you. And I am aware that cost is a huge factor, especially in a startup, but please know that you get what you pay for. And it's not just with billing companies, it's with anything that you're going to outsource. You get what you pay for. Same with the staff that you hire. You get what you pay for. If you're looking for someone who's going to accept a lower wage, but they have a lot of responsibilities and they don't have a lot of experience, and that's how you're going to be able to pay them the wage that you can afford, then the chances are you're going to get what you pay for, and maybe they won't be as efficient or good at their job for at least a little while until they can get trained up. So okay, I'm getting off that little box right now. So billing companies, you need to ask them, if insurances or subscriber IDs are not correct in a patient's registration and it comes through and gets rejected on the claim because it's not correct, how does that get corrected? Do they let you know so you can make sure your staff fixes it at a patient level in their account, or are they only fixing it on the claim and resubmitting it so you're going to have the same issue next time? How do they work your claims? Do they, scrub them and send them out every day? Do they do it only a few times a week? How many staff members are assigned to your account? Are they the same staff members on your account, or is it just whoever gets to it? I mean, these are things that you need to ask. You also need to find out if they code your claims. So do they look at your progress notes and whatever the provider has entered, will they correct it? If the provider doesn't put anything, do they put their own stuff? Now this is kind of a gray area. I don't agree with other people coding stuff, but I do know there are certified coders out there that can do it, and they work under their own license, so their own liability, and that's good. But I think providers should have a lot of input and say in that because they are the ones seeing the patients and should be able to help with that. And then you have someone come behind them and say, oh, you can't do that, but we can do this, or you missed this, so we need to make sure we add this. But I don't think that there should just be nothing and the coders start from scratch. Anyway, that's just me. If they don't do coding, then that's something that you're going to need someone internally to do. You think it's really simple and the providers are good at it, but that's not what providers' jobs are. They know the high-level basics, but they don't know the other stuff. And you are probably going to have your back office staff adding injections and tests and x-rays and all of those codes, but if they forget, who's going to catch those so that you're not missing out on that money? So those are things that you need to consider. consider, and you would need, in my opinion, an in-house coder to be looking over those and doing a double check just to make sure nothing's getting missed or you're doing incorrect billing and gonna get audited or put yourself out there with insurance companies. So we have it covered with, registration for patients. We have how often are claims getting worked and submitted? Are they being scrubbed and coded correctly? So who's going to follow up if the insurance hasn't responded in a certain amount of time? What is that time frame? Do they do that? Will they resubmit corrected claims for you? Do you have to pay more for that? How do they communicate to you if there is an issue on a claim or they're getting rejections and denials? Do they fix it and not let you know? Or are they communicating with you somehow and doing it? Are there kind of like standing orders you can provide to them so they can fix some stuff, but other things need to go to you? You should be in the loop. You should know. I have seen providers too many times hire billing companies and just take for granted that they're doing everything, and they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea how it's being done, and it ends up biting them in the long run. You cannot hire somebody and just take for granted and do hands off. They have it under control. You need to be involved. This is the money, the backbone of your practice. This is your business. This is your livelihood, okay? So you have to think about that. The other thing, do they deal with patient calls when patients have questions on their accounts? Do they handle collections? If they do collections, what level of collections? Do they just call, once to patients if they have a balance? How often do they do it? Do they send it to an external collection company? Do you have any say in that? Do you get to see the list before it goes over? There's so many things. If an insurance is doing a take back, how do they notify you? If a patient needs a refund because they overpaid somehow, how does that get handled? Who's sending medical records if the insurance comes back and says, hey, we'll pay this, but we need to see the medical records first. We need to see medical necessity. Are they going to let you know so that you can make sure everything is good on that progress note, which hopefully it is, because you don't want to be making changes last minute because that looks shady too. But it's just the point of you being aware of this. And all these other, there's so many, I could go on, but you definitely need to think about this. The other thing is you need to think about what you do want to do in-house or what you need to do in-house after talking to the billing companies so that you can anticipate this overhead. Because most likely you're going to have to hire 1 or 2 people in-house, even with hiring a billing company, that's going to need to be their direct contact that understands the coding, that can do the billing, that can do the stuff that they are not going to do. Someone who asks for the reports, does the double checking to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, because you have good intentions if you think you're going to be doing it as the provider owner, but you're going to get busy and your focus really should be on patient care. So you need somebody in your office that has the bandwidth and the knowledge to be able to work directly with your billing company and keep them on their toes and do a quality control and make sure that they're doing everything they're supposed to and that they know what's going on. So these are the things that people need to think about when you're hiring a billing company. A lot of people make decisions just based off the cost alone, and that's just very misleading. But you don't know what you don't know if you've never owned a practice, if you've never been involved in this, and that's why I'm doing this video. So you want to make sure that you're asking the right questions with the billing companies before you sign anything. You need to make sure that you understand what's expected on your side when it comes to medical billing and coding for your practice and how many people internally you would need to hire to help manage that side of things. And then also you need to make sure that you are comfortable with using these people long term, because I'm going to do another video in a bit, but changing billing companies is really cumbersome and it can disrupt your cash flow significantly if things aren't done appropriately or you run into unforeseen obstacles. So, you really want to make sure you're making a long-term decision that you're comfortable with and you're putting those workflows together in order for everyone to be successful in this. You want to make sure that the backbone of your company, which again is your income, your revenue, is going to be solid, that you've thought about everything, that you've looked under everything, you've looked around the corner, you've considered it all. And hopefully, you're never going to be able to anticipate everything, but hopefully you're doing enough due diligence that you're lessening the chances of any issues in the future. Because unfortunately with the billing, you don't notice that there's an issue until it's a little further down the line, and sometimes it's really hard to undo or unravel, and it can really cost, literally out of pocket, further issues that you'll have to pay for to correct. So that's why I'm doing this video. Just make sure that you're doing a really good job at asking the right questions, considering your internal workflows. Don't assume because you're hiring someone out of your office, a billing specialist, to do this responsibility that you don't need to be involved at all, because that's not true, and it gets a lot of provider owners in trouble. If you have any questions or comments about this, please leave that in the comments below. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, please, please, please. And share this video with anybody and everybody who you feel would benefit from this information. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.